Hey, my name is Frank, and this is what we did last night. We started the night like we do every single night in December with the Spotify playlists. I know a lot of you guys have been subscribing to this playlist, following the playlist, and it's really neat because it's just a bunch of songs that other people have put together in their playlist. I just kind of combined into a giant playlist. But again, it's still there. 6 hours of awesome Christmas music. Did I mention that the Pentatonics album is excellent? So check that out, link below. So when it's time to start our service, we had a countdown video, and what I ended up doing this week is getting the Pentatonics Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy song, which Pentatonics is just a great group, and everything they do is amazing. And so I got that song, I put it in our media shout, and I was able to put the countdown that they have installed into the program on top of the video. And so it worked out great that our countdown video was Pentatonics. The first funny video we showed was called the Santa Shuffle. It was a complete dud. None of our kids liked it. In fact, one of the comments I got was, "This is the kind of video I think my mom would share on Facebook." And so, needless to say, I loved it. The rapper Dre Murray that's in it, he's one of my favorite rappers, but the kids did not like the video. They thought it was really lame, so lesson learned. Then I showed a second Misfit teaser. Misfit is the theme of our winter retreat, and I had these little like 1 minute commercials featuring students in their youth group in their element and saying that they're misfits, and I'm showing a longer version of these videos at the retreat. And so this one was one of our kids who's an artist, specifically doing like graffiti stuff. And so you'll see the link below of what I showed, but it was a cool video, and the kids always love seeing one of their own in the video, so it was a great hit. Then I showed this, I don't know how I found this clip. It was the Avengers like chopped up and spliced together singing different Christmas songs, and then I Am Groot singing Jingle Bells. It was a funny video, quick, like I think a minute and a half, and all of our kids are Marvel fans, so they loved it. And then the last video we showed was just me looking to a camera sharing the announcements. It wasn't too funny, it wasn't too fancy, just kind of getting the announcements that we have for the ministry out there. And then we went to the game section, and all the games were from Download Youth Ministry. I'm a DYM member, and so I get that $20 credit, and my $20 credit came in like yesterday. So I got 3 games that were all hits. They were all PowerPoint kind of games. The first game was a Christmas screenshot hotshot. Basically, they show a scene from a classic Christmas movie, and the kids have to guess what movie it was. So that was an easy, fun one. In fact, the kids were saying it was a little too easy, and there was a couple of repeats in there, but the kids liked it. The next one was called The Price is Nice, and it was a good game, but it's kind of always hard to explain how these price game works. I did another one where I made a Christmas high-low game, and the kids like it, but it's just kind of complicated to explain the rules, and this game is specifically was kind of difficult to kind of explain the rules, but nonetheless, the kids enjoyed it. And the last game we played from DYM was called the Classic Christmas Trivia Part 2 or something like that. And it was a good game. The kids liked it. In fact, it was almost too good because all the classic movies were very classic to the point where some of our kids didn't even know what movie this was from, like names of actresses and actors from, maybe their parents' childhood. So it was a good game. Kids liked it, and I was able to give away chocolate from the dollar store to the winner of the game. Then we sang 3 songs: Silent Night, O Come, O Come Emmanuel, and O Holy Night. Classic Christmas songs to just kind of end our Christmas series and to end the year with just singing a bunch of carols. It was great. Our intro video I shared on the Facebook community group, and I just said, "You're welcome," because it was the perfect kind of just fun, lighthearted video explaining the Christmas story. And it's called the Christmas Story video, and I think it's by Orange. I think 252 is Orange, but nevertheless, it's just a bunch of little kids reenacting and narrating the Christmas story, and it's linked in here. It's adorable and it's fun, and it told the story. It was great. And then my message was a very simple message. It was kind of short too. I kind of wanted to just kind of give a very practical, applicational, what is Christmas? What can we do with this Christmas time? Like, of all the times in the year, we have these 2 or 3 weeks where we're out of school, parents are home. How can we be intentional of making the most of this Christmas time? And I was able to just share with them just to not waste these moments and be intentional about making this about Jesus and not about themselves, and just kind of reinforcing about the theme of Advent and what Advent's about. It's about the coming of Christ, and realigning our hearts that our Messiah is coming back. And so just to be intentional, it was a very simple, maybe I preached about 25 minutes just about Jesus and focusing on him and making him the purpose and the meaning of our Christmas holiday. And we had a very special ending. It was very different than most of the endings we've had, in our youth group in general, but especially this year, this month. I had a student come up and have her read the Christmas story from Luke 2. And then while she was reading the story, I had our guitarist strum Silent Night, and we lit candles. And I shared briefly about how Jesus is the light of the world, and he brought his light into the world. And because of Christ, the light spreads to people who put their faith in Christ, and the light passing on to each candle and illuminating the room is an example of Christ lighting up the world through believers. And so she read the verse, we sang Silent Night again, and then I closed with a couple Bible verses about Jesus being the light of the world, and then us in turn being the light to the rest of this dark world, and just us going boldly out from here to proclaim the gospel, to proclaim the good news about Jesus Christ. He has come, he has died, and he is risen, and he is reigning, and he's going to come again. And so it was just a good night of ministry. We ended about 10 minutes early, which then sprung about 20 minutes of hangout time afterwards. So we were ended up being 10 minutes late leaving the ministry, but it was a good time. It was a great night of just kind of hanging out, talking about Jesus, and having fun. So there are no more services for me for the next 2 weeks. Next week is Christmas, and the following week I'll be doing our winter retreat with all my students. And so I definitely won't be making a video 2 weeks from now on that Thursday, and I won't be making a video next week because it's Christmas. But when I get back from the retreat, I will make a video about how the retreat went, kind of what we did, the highs and lows of the retreat. And that might be a longer video, but it'll be worth recapping how our winter retreat went. And if you guys ever plan to do winter retreats, maybe you guys can get some ideas from what we did. So until I see you guys again, have a Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you guys soon. God bless.